Kenya can act optimally with half of the government we have in terms of its size. We can cut the government into half across everything. Government, if government is a loaf of bread, you can cut it by half. All the resources of government, you can cut it by half, and my grandmother will not notice. What am I trying to say? That service delivery will not be hampered. Institutional reform must be deliberate and must be objective. The other thing, the Eurobond we borrowed, for example, the one I talked about, 10% to retire the 6.8%, we borrowed alone 30% higher price to pay another one. I wish we did a few things instead of borrowing more. Kenya has got assets. And some of these assets, we bought them for commercial purpose alone. Government invests in institutions for many factors, strategic reasons. There is also commercial reasons. In the year 2020, Safaricom market capitalization was around 1.5 trillion Kenya shillings. 1.5 trillion. The government of Kenya owns 35% of Safaricom. 20% of that Safaricom at the market cap then of 1.5 trillion is 300 billion. Only 30% alone. You could have raised 300 billion without borrowing anything. But some people will argue, but you know, why would you sell it? It gets dividend. I mean, even in the investment arena itself, you take the amount of money the government cumulatively has received in dividends. It may need to receive dividends for hundreds of years for it to match this kind of investment. The other thing people talk about, you can't sell a company like Safaricom. You know, it holds very strategic reasons for our country. Which strategic reasons cannot be handled? And that regulator can hold the forte of government there. You can even have a regulation that the government will have board of directors without necessarily even having a shareholding. You can have it. Just as currently the CBK forces banks, you must have independent directors. The government will not own your bank, but they'll force you. You have to have independent directors. Government can still control companies through regulation. You don't have to control companies through ownership and stake. Now, this is the thing. Now, that market capitalization of Safaricom has now come down from 1.5 trillion to 700 billion as of yesterday. We must be strategic even in government investments so that we make it we have an efficient asset management arm of government so that they are able to make optimal decisions. Why would you go to borrow money as a government private sector investment? To invest. You are not hungry. You are okay. You are not maybe even Kenyan. So you have a home by the beach. You have money. I want to ask a rhetorical question. Between this person who has 10 billion shillings, them they are able to take care of themselves, but they have 10 billion, they want to invest in Kenya. It's fine. Wewe uko na gari yako, hata uko na ndege, unakaa ng'ambo, you are not even Kenyan. You live in the most exotic places and you have money and you want to invest. So you are not looking for money to buy food. You are actually looking for money just as a creation of wealth. And you have some money to put up a factory somewhere. And you say, oh, it is in Kenya. And when, or any other developing country, when you come in with this money and you are investing in Kenya, somebody want to treat you like helping you is a favor they are doing you. Entrepreneurs, if they are given the primacy of the role that should be given to them, they can do much of the work that the government already does. And therefore take up some more roles from government for government to concentrate on just a few. If you look at, for example, the R&D budget of Amazon, it is bigger, research and development, it's a big budget in developed countries. The R&D budget of Amazon is higher than the R&D budget for the entire Germany. Germany as a country has a lower R&D budget than Amazon as a country. Just imagine if Amazon was not there. The R&D budget of Meta, for example, and maybe only two tech companies in the US combined, is higher than the entire R&D budget of the government of the United States. What am I trying to say? There are some things that are already being funded by the private sector in that country where the government does not actually need to have that money in their fiscals. Because the ultimate result of R&D is research, is to do things more efficiently, is to do things better. If private sector is given enough resources, enough support, they can end up doing much more of what the government does. Asanteni sana.
All right, thank you very much for the economics class, Honorable Ndindi. That was very useful. I hope you have all enjoyed. We now want to move to the last step of this launch. Just play that short video, and then we can move forward to the rest of the day. Please indulge us in the next couple of minutes. Well, this was supposed to happen to some of us here, so we can make our way here. Yeah, thank you. Right, is it? Oh, it's still going on? Okay.
Every year, a national budget is tabled, promises are made, numbers are crunched, but beneath the numbers, what do the figures mean for you? In this 5th edition of the annual National Shadow Budget, we have crunched the numbers and highlighted the following. We note that Kenya has remained resilient in the face of domestic civil unrest and external shocks. However, revenue shortfalls continue to hamper fiscal consolidation efforts. High interest payments on debt have contributed to high debt fragility and the risk of high debt distress. The question that lingers is, how will the government finance the 4.3 trillion shillings budget in the coming year? The government has proposed some reforms, but challenges persist. Firstly, The government has emphasized the entrenching of a zero-based budgeting approach. We wait to see how this shift will influence government spending decisions. Second, the urgent and critical clearance of national government pending bills amounting to 540 billion shillings is necessary to ease cash flow pressures on the private sector. Third, the persistent duplication of functions across national and devolved governments and with national government entities demands rationalization. Fourth, declining foreign aid, especially to the health sector, has left a funding gap of 28 billion shillings. This creates the need for innovative finance